Welcome back, 40 activists, and we have just hit the halfway point of our generosity challenge, so stick with it. And we've been totally overwhelmed still by the volume of stories that have come through with your acts of generosity. Let's look at Saturday's act, which was Adopt. Now, although that was quite a specific title, we kept it open for you guys to interpret, and it's been brilliant to see how each of you did that on your own. We particularly like this WhatsApp from Claudia in Berlin, who said, "I've registered to adopt one of the refugee families that we have so abundantly here in Berlin. There is a shelter, one of the biggest here in my neighbourhood. The aim is to help in their integration." So from Claudia there, we've seen how you can adapt an act to meet a real local and pressing need in your community. We also heard from Nikki from Birmingham. She helped out in what appeared to be an adoption chain. She told us about how she's been hanging out with Kevin this week on the homeless project she volunteers with. In turn, Kevin also seems to be looking after another local. Nikki said, "I see him every week. I was inspired by this man, homeless and nursing an injured pigeon, using his only blanket and giving it food. He had nothing and was still prepared to share and show compassion. That stopped us all in our tracks." Next, we saw Propose, and we left it completely up to you to propose how you were going to spend the next day being generous. We saw 140 activists based in New York taking a look back at their circles and reaching out to old friends after 25 years of separation. Another lady generously booked her Nana trip to Dublin, and another couple left supplies at the local laundromat for those doing their laundry there. Some of you took the opportunity to look at your financial giving, including Helen Hall, who was one of many who set up stewardship giving accounts. We hope you can use this to bless the causes that you're really passionate about. We're continuing to enjoy reading the tweets and messages that are coming in from our schools, and brilliant to see how that teachers and students are communicating about generosity in the classroom. We really loved this message from Hannah that made us smile. She said, "At school, we've created a 40 acts wall where the children have written the kinds of generous things they've either done or others have done for them. I've made lots of bricks and they've continued to add to it throughout the week." Such a great way to stay encouraged, and a really brilliant way that we can see the generous acts flowing through that school. And finally, Fair Trade saw many of you flocking to the shops to stock up on Fair Trade goodies, either as a continuation of or the start of a lifestyle change. We were not only excited to see your Fair Trade labels rolling in on social media, but we also spent a few moments having a little read through of some excellent blogs that some of you 40 activists have written about the Fair Trade movement. One that was really useful was written by Fiona on her blog, English Bakes. She provided some really solid advice about how you could trade in your wardrobe like this for a Fair Trade one. We provided a link to her blog in the description. You should check it out. That's it from me this week, but we're halfway through our generosity challenge, and at Stewardship we've just been overwhelmed that you guys at home have really been putting your heart and soul into this. Let's see what we can achieve in the second half of 40 acts. Enough from me. See you next week.